This is the ABQ Business Podcast with your host, Jason Rigby. Each week we'll interview visionary business leaders to inspire the creative power and spirit that's in every entrepreneur. Discussing strengths, weaknesses, strategies, systems, and the problems we can all solve together for a new future for local small business.
Hey guys, we're going to be talking about discipline today, and I'm going to do a book review. I haven't done a book review in a while, and I'm going to do it on Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual by Jocko Willink. You guys know I talk about him all the time. I love his books. This one's very practical. So it's going to tell you how to, because there's a Discipline Equals Freedom book, and then this is the field manual. So it's going to get into detail. So I encourage you you can get both of them on Amazon, or you can go to their website. I think it's jockopodcast.com and purchase them. But the great books, they have Kindle editions, so you can grab them on your Amazon. So I encourage you to do that. But one of the things that he gets into your head, literally into your mind, is that discipline is the only way to be successful. Discipline is the only way to get freedom. And we'll explain that a little bit more. One of the things that he says is discipline is the only way you can become stronger, smarter, faster, and healthier. And those are all things that we want to do, right? We want to be smarter. We want to be healthier. But how do we accomplish that? That is the question. And that's what he answers in this field manual book. And of course, he was Navy SEAL. He was in charge of Navy SEAL training, did all kinds of stuff, went over to the Middle East and went to war. So he knows about this. He knows what it takes to have discipline in your life. I mean, when you're training at that level and being in those type of teams and having that responsibility and leadership, I'm telling you, you have to be disciplined. And anyone that you see that's extremely successful, the key is discipline. It's discipline, guys. Every time. It's discipline. Let me show you how important this is. We all want to hack. We all want a shortcut. We all want to find something that makes something else easier that we don't have to put in the work. But it's a lie. And that's what this lie he wants to expose, and then he wants to show you what you have to do. If you want to overcome obstacles in your life, if you want and have a true desire to reach goals, if you want to be the best version of yourself, all of it is possible, but it's not going to happen through taking shortcuts, through cutting corners, looking for the easy way. It is only done through hard work. Whether you have to get up early in the morning or you have to stay up late at night, whether you practice, you have to do rehearsals, there's repetition, there's studying, there's sweat, there's blood, there's toil, there's frustration, there's discipline. And this is what he says: discipline is the core principle that overcomes laziness, lethargy, and excuses. So how do you get discipline in your life? That would be the question. Jason, how can you get me motivated to the point to where I know that I can get up in the morning? And I can't do that. Jocko Willink can't do that. Buying a book of his can't do that. It can give you ideas and help you so that you become more self-aware. But at the end of the day, it requires you to learn the way of discipline. There's a way, there's a path, being on the path. So where does discipline come from? And he addresses this. He said, discipline comes from within. Discipline is an internal force. Get that, guys. It's internal. It comes from you. It is the will to overcome whatever is in your way, whatever obstacle is there for you to say, fuck it, I'm going forward. I'm moving forward regardless. Yeah, I'm laying in bed and I don't feel like getting up. I'm getting up. That don't feel like, that bad feeling, or I'm going to eat this donut, or I'm going to, eat this bad food, or run through this fast food driveway, being able to catch yourself like right at that second, right at that minute, and stop yourself and say, this is not the way of discipline. I must not do this, period. Discipline cannot be imposed on you by someone. You can't hire a yogi. You can't get a Marine Corps drill instructor. You can't buy enough self-help books to give you discipline. You can't buy it. You can't get it. It has to be earned. He says discipline is the root of all good qualities, the driver of daily execution. It is what causes you to execute daily. If your external discipline is you based off of you submitting your free will to others to allow them to motivate you to do something, then you've lost. External discipline cannot stand on its own. You need self-discipline that's internal. Self-discipline is the self. It is you willing yourself to accomplish things that you do not want to do, but you know if you do them, you will be better off and a better version of yourself. When it comes to making a decision, you have to tell yourself, I need to be disciplined. I did that the other day. I had some podcast stuff I wanted to work on, and I didn't really want to do it. And I was like, I'm going to be disciplined, and I'm going to do this. And I'm so glad because I got it done, and then something else came up, and I wouldn't have been able to get it done for the day. And I laid in bed, and I thought, I am so glad that I got that done at that time. So glad. Because if I wouldn't have got it done, it only hurts you guys. It hurts the ABQ Business Family. And I have a responsibility to you. And I have a responsibility to myself. And I have a responsibility to my team that makes this podcast possible. I have a responsibility to get up and to work, to be disciplined. Discipline, he says, defeats the infinite excuse that says, not today, not now. I need a rest. I will do it tomorrow. If you are thinking those thoughts, I'll just relax today. I don't really need to do this. I'll put it off. Procrastination. I'll put it off tomorrow. Then you do not have self-discipline, because self-discipline instantly understands where that weakness is coming from. And the weakness causes bondage. The strength of self-discipline causes freedom. In that instant, that second, when you start thinking these bondage thoughts, these nasty, weak, pathetic thoughts, then you can start saying, I'm going to make the commitment. I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to become disciplined right now. And he talks like it's embracing this cold and relentless power, because that's what it is. Discipline is something you don't want to do. Your brain hates it, but once you do it, your brain loves it. You have to overcome your mind. Because once you get self-discipline, it will make you smarter. It will make you faster. It will make you healthier. And most important, as he says, it will make you free, because you're not based off the external. You've got your own thing working. There's no easy way. It is only hard work, self-discipline, repetition, rehearsal, practice over and over and over again. And in that moral compass of those greatest qualities that we so admire in others, that becomes you. And it only is that way through self-discipline. So how do you stop laziness? How do you stop procrastination? He talks about it. There's a question that everyone goes into. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be lazy. I procrastinate on everything till it's the last minute. And then people ask, where do you start? And this is what he says. And this is cool because Jocko's like what you would envision a Navy SEAL to look like too. You should look him up, Jocko Willink. When do I start? When is the best time to start? This is what he says. There's only one simple answer. It's here and now. And that's it. Do you want to improve? Do you want to get better? Do you want to get on a workout program? Do you want to have a clean diet? Do you want to start that new online business you were hoping to do? Where do you start? You start right here. When do you start? You start right now. In the book, he says, here's the reality. That idea isn't going to execute itself. That book isn't going to write itself. Those weights out in the gym, they aren't going to move themselves. People are not who you want them to be. Kill everyone that you think is your idols. We can learn things from people, but people aren't going to be what you think they are. People that you put on a pedestal, they still have faults. They still get weak. They still are condescending. They're still going to be lazy. They're going to be short-sighted. They're not going to be perfect, far from it. But guess what? You can learn from their weaknesses. You can learn from their strengths and mimic and copy those. And you can learn from their faults. You can say, they're not disciplined in this area, but guess what? I'm going to be disciplined in this. Discipline your body, free your mind. Get up early and go. Get after it. And you will, over time, become the person you want to be. It's that simple, guys. It's walking on the right path. Will this keep me on the path of self-discipline, or will this take me off the path? Oh, it's going to take me off the path. I will not eat that. I will not do that. I will not be a part of it. I will not talk to this person. I will not have a relationship with this person. They are taking me off the path. But I will do this, this, and this, because this gives me ultimate freedom, and that is control of my mind. It's one small decision, one at a time, that you defeat daily. He says, don't let your mind control you. Control your mind. How do I get tougher? Be tougher. How can I wake up early in the morning? Wake up early. How can I work out consistently every day? Work out consistently every day. You have control over your mind. You have to just assert it. You have to decide that you're going to be in control, that you're going to do what you want to do. Weakness doesn't get a vote. Laziness doesn't get a vote. Sadness doesn't get a vote. Frustration doesn't get a vote. Your temper doesn't get a vote. So when you're feeling soft or emotional or weak or lazy, you tell that feeling inside of you, that emotion, you do not get a vote. In fact, I want to pick up that donut. I talk about donuts, guys, because that's my favorite. I want to eat that donut. I didn't earn it. Nope. I'm moving in this direction. In fact, because I was even thinking about eating a donut, I'm doing 100 push-ups right now. Train your mind. You can overcome those emotions. It is mind control. He says, declare martial law on your brain. In order to improve, one of the things that he talks about in the book is you need to stress the body and the mind. By working out, you'll increase your endorphins, testosterone, growth hormones, cardiac volume, insulin sensitivity, and natural cells that kill other bacteria and stuff. Those that change, they prevent health issues, high blood pressure, obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, insomnia, and depression. Working out does all those things, guys. If you're not working out, I work out daily. I'm not going to work out where I'm going to injure myself. But guess what? I'm going to work out daily because I need to move and I need momentum. And I'm not going to go stagnant. My body needs to constantly move. I need to stress out my body because then it makes all my systems run better. You want to be smarter? You want to be more creative? Improve the blood flow to the brain. When you work out, it boosts growth hormones that produce more growth of new nerve cells. It improves synaptic plasticity, the ability for neurons to send and receive message. It releases brain chemicals that help cognition, dopamine, glutamate, norepinephrine, however you say that word, and serotonin. Working out boosts the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that helps with mental processes. Stress is good. We need stress. We need to push the body and the mind to get better. One of the main physical reactions to stress is the release of the hormone cortisol in the body. It has a multitude of effects, including making glucose available to the brain, generating energy from stored reserves, and focusing energy on immediate threats rather than less urgent needs. It also raises blood pressure to optimize the flow of blood throughout the body. But stress can be bad. If you're not working out, if you're not moving, if you're not working on you, if you're not disciplining yourself, then you're going to have the other stress, the stress of chaos, the stress of out of control, the stress of allowing your monkey brain to control you and run you, the stress of everything external, not internal, the stress of not having freedom because you're not disciplined, the stress of having other people control you and that your emotions are at the whim of those that are around you. If they're pissed off, then you're pissed off. If they're upset, then you're upset. If they're sad, then you're sad. That level of cortisol, he says, is like a car that runs in the red. Over time, your immune system becomes repressed. It increases blood pressure and it causes hypertension. Sustained high blood pressure causes damage to the heart and the blood vessels. It encourages fat deposits too, guys. and causes a level of bone loss. You must stress the body and the mind in order to improve, but be careful, be cautious. Everything in moderation, guys. Everything. You can't drink too much, but you can have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. Not good to have them every single day where you're just trying to escape something for a buzz. So everything in moderation, guys. But you need stress. You should not be running from stress. Exercise is a form of stress. And it conditions the muscles and the heart. It conditions the body to react properly to those cortisol levels. It balances your hormones out. Get up before the sun, he says, be ready to attack. Yes, that means get up early. This will be hard at first. Yes, your body wants to reject anything that you have to do with discipline, but it can over time become the normal. You could run 3 miles a day. It can become normal. It just takes time and discipline. A little bit every day. I'm going to walk 3 miles, and I have to walk slow. Then I'm going to walk a little bit faster. Then I'm going to walk a little bit faster. Then I'm going to run for 100 steps, and then I'm going to stop and take a break, and I'm going to run again. And then next thing you know, after months, your body's adapted and changed, and you're running 3 miles. But we quit because of lack of self-discipline. Would you like to know that you're working harder than those that you're in competition with? Would you like to know that you have the confidence to be able to handle them in battle? Get sleep, because fatigue has biological and psychological effects. Sleep is a necessity. Humans need sleep. If you do not get enough sleep, it causes negative hormonal changes, interferes with the metabolizing of glucose, it increases blood pressure, and suppresses the immune system. Less sleep also means less human growth hormone in your body, which means less muscle mass and weaker bones. If you can't sleep at night, you didn't work out hard enough. If you work out and you work out really good, you will, when you hit that pillow, you are out. Get a good workout in, and guess what? You won't have any issues with falling asleep. Different people need different amounts of sleep. I know I need about anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. I can run around there. My sleep time on my Fitbit, I average about 6.5 to 7 hours. That's good for me. That's what I need. Some of you need 8 or 9 hours of sleep. Some of you are just sleeping because you're lazy. If you work out and you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning and you pull yourself out of bed and you're disciplined about it and you're eating clean, your mind becomes clear. When you prioritize the time that you're going to go to bed and you discipline your mind to go to bed at that time and you get up early, the world is still asleep. But guess what? You're attacking your enemy. They're sleeping. You're not. You're working. He says this: there's no traffic. The gym is empty. There's no one to distract you or call you or send you some stupid text about something you don't care about. It's just you. So go to bed early and wake up early. Go to sleep early. Get really tired. Force yourself to be tired. Work out. Be tired. Go to sleep. And guess what? You getting up early and you are attacking the day and done so much more than most people that are just getting up and tired and undisciplined. I told you this is going to be a practical one. So he talks about working out. He talks about sleep. And then he's talking about your body maintaining balance through a set of processes. Our brains like this, guys. You need to get into a routine, a daily routine and process. Hemostasis is the tendency to move toward a state of balance. For instance, in a house, the thermostat keeps the temperature in balance. The air condition comes on when it gets too hot in the house. And in the winter, the heat comes on when it gets too cold. It is being maintained. That balance is maintaining. You have to keep your body and your mind in a state of balance. Drinking enough water for when you can sweat and then you can piss to expel the water. That is all a system that maintains balance. It helps with sodium, acidity, potassium concentrates in the blood, plasma ionized calcium. Failure to maintain that system creates significant health problems. Try to drink a gallon of water a day. That's what I go for. Gallon of water every day. I have a Yeti. I have a system for it. So I know in my Yeti, I have the big Yeti, and I know I need to drink 4 of those. So I'm going to drink 4 of those every day or more. Guess what? Not a problem anymore. I just drink water constantly. I love it. If you need to put a little something in them, you can get a little pre-workout or some of those hydration IVs. I have all of that. I'll throw those in there just for the flavor. Get some lemon concentrate, throw a little bit of lemon in there, whatever it takes, but get your water. If you're working out, you need it. It balances out. He talks about this, don't raise your blood sugar levels to the point of eating sugar all day long or having a ton of carbohydrates. If your blood sugar levels go up a lot, then your body has to regulate your high blood sugar levels, and then it has to release the hormone insulin into your blood from the pancreas. From there, it pushes the sugar in the blood into fat cells and then slows down the process of fat and the fat cells being pulled out to use for energy. Sugar and carbohydrates make you fat, guys. When it's putting fat into fat cells, it's not using your fat for what it's supposed to be, and that's energy. You just get fatter. He says this, stay strong, get off the sugar train, get off the addiction, stop eating sugar. Be disciplined about it, guys. You can force yourself not to eat it. If you have an addiction, you need to become self-aware of that and say, I have an addiction to sugar. I have an addiction to sugar. Admit it. And then from there, move in the direction of discipline and tell yourself, I have an addiction and I will not eat this because I have enough power to break this. I am not powerless to sugar. If you consistently spike insulin in the blood, it leads to insulin resistance, which leads to type 2 diabetes, which leads to a ton of other health issues. And next thing you know, you're getting strokes, kidney failure, blindness, heart disease. People are getting their arms and legs chopped off, obesity, and then death, guys. Stop eating carbohydrates. Stop eating sugar. It is the same, and he talks about this, it is the same as heroin and cocaine. Your body cannot tell the difference between you taking heroin and cocaine and you eating a ton of carbohydrates and sugar. Think about that. That's how bad that addiction that you have is in food. And he talks about this, fasting. You don't have to eat all the time. For thousands and thousands of years, we didn't eat all the time. When we get a kill, we'd be able to eat. When we were able to grow food, we'd be able to eat that. But you don't need to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8, 12, and 5, guys. That was for people that worked constantly out in the field. Farmers that had farms that were working 8, 10, 12-hour days, 7 days a week. They were exercising that much. Strong farmers. You're not doing that. If you're sitting at a desk and eating at 8, and then you turn around and at 12 or 1, you're on this addiction cycle of undiscipline. Then your body's craving another sugar or carbohydrate, and then you give it to it again, and then you come home and you give it to it again, and then you eat snacks late at night. Our bodies have not adapted to eat that. He talks about that. He talks about eat fish, eggs, beef, preferably grass-fed, poultry, preferably free range, nuts, vegetables, fungi, roots, a little bit of dairy. Limited fruit. Do not eat grains, potatoes, refined salt, refined sugar, processed oils. He says this, you can deplete that sugar in the blood by exercising until it's gone, fasting until it's gone, or adjusting your carbohydrate intake. I do intermittent fasting every single day. I don't need breakfast. Occasionally I will, but 99.9% of the time, if I'm really weak, I'll make some eggs and bacon. Other than that, guys, I'm not going to eat till 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if I go to bed, I don't eat snacks. I go to bed. So I had dinner, then I go to bed, and then I don't eat again. I usually eat only 1 or 2 meals a day. You can train yourself to that. You don't have to eat. Fasting is a gift. If you have bad food around you, don't eat it. Fast. and tell yourself, I am fasting. I am healthy. I did not give in. I was not weak. Psychological benefits, he talks about fasting. Improves function of cells, genes, and hormones. Induces loss of body fat. Reduces risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Reduces oxidative stress and inflammation. Induces cell repair processes. Increases brain-derived neurotrophic factors. Induces detoxification process. Then he gets into stretching. This is something I've learned to do. I got a foam roller. I got a yoga mat. If I'm going to watch TV, I'm going to stretch and foam roll. I'm not going to sit or lay on the couch. I need to move. I need to move my joints. I need to foam roll them out. You don't have to lay and sit on a couch and be lazy, guys. If you want to watch TV and you want to watch that favorite, say, I'm going to watch 2 episodes of this show. And in those 2 hours, I'm just going to roll. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do a little bit of yoga poses. I'm going to stretch, downward dog. All those different exercises and stretches. If you don't know any, you can go online and look them up. Just do it slowly while you're watching. Take a break. Do a little bit more. Take a break. Move your hips around. Get on the ground. Get up on how many people that are above 50 years old that can get comfortably, real quickly, up and down from the ground, from a yoga mat, standing up? And then we wonder why I have so many hip surgeries and so many problems. Your average American can't sit on the ground and then get back up again, or lay completely on the ground. It's a chore. It's a hassle for them. Be mobile, guys. Stretching, like anything else, requires consistency. Figure out what movements are best for you. Don't do too many of them, and then do those in a routine consistently. For me, it works best if I do it at night. When I'm watching something, I'll watch a podcast, Joe Rogan or something like that, one of my podcasts, and then I will just foam roll, chill, relax. Like I said, you don't have to injure yourself. Do you know with fasting you can survive 30 days without food? So guess what? If I can survive 30 days without food, I can wait a few hours before I eat that. He talks about sample warm-ups and workouts, work like pull-ups, if you can do, and he goes into detail in the field manual. I don't want to get into this too heavy, but he talks about how you can do pull-ups, even if you can't do one. He talks about sit-ups, how you can do those in the resting, pull, push, lift. Those are kind of the basic things. He says this: there's no easy way. There's only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. That is it, guys. He goes into different programs based off your health. Even, like run 400 meters 2 times, sample workouts for beginners, all of those. But I want to keep this under 30 minutes. So I want to tell you guys, to reach goals and overcome obstacles, you have to become the best version of yourself. It's possible. It's not going to happen by itself. It will not happen cutting corners, taking shortcuts. You cannot look always for the easy way out. It requires discipline. Discipline is the root of all good qualities. It is the driver of daily execution. It is the core principle that overcomes laziness and lethargy and excuses. Discipline defeats the infinite excuse that says, not today, not now, I need a rest, I will do it tomorrow. If you want to become stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, there is only one way, and that is be disciplined. Go down swinging. If you fight with all you have, more often than not, you're not going to go down at all. You will win. But you have to make that attitude a part of your everyday life. Do the extra push-up. Run the extra mile. Go the extra round. Do the extra email. Make the right choices. Give the full measure. Make yourself stronger mentally and physically. And he says this, and I'll close with this: don't just read this book. Don't just listen to the podcast. Don't just watch videos online. Don't just take notes. Don't just study them. Don't just plan. Don't just get motivated. Don't just talk. Don't just think. Don't just dream. No, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is that you actually do.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share, and go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.